Hello, my name's Sarah Brown. I'm the Voluntary Services Manager here at Gloucestershire Hospital's NHS Foundation Trust, and this is my colleague Jean Tucker, our Patient Experience Manager. Along with the rest of the country, and specifically hospitals, we had to respond promptly to the changes the COVID pandemic brought about at the beginning of last year.
The world changed at the start of 2020, and on April 3rd, our trust had to restrict visiting throughout our hospitals. This meant that we had a lot of very anxious relatives who knew they had to stay away to protect their loved ones, but they needed reassurance themselves that their loved one was safe and was being cared for by us. The switchboard was overwhelmed with calls, which they could not put through to the wards, as the ward staff were also under pressure with the volume of patients, as well as the reduced staffing levels due to isolation and shielding. We needed to change the way we worked and combine teams with the volunteers to form a formidable support team for patients and their relatives. IT worked with us to enable us to work differently. We certainly needed a lot more phone lines, and the advisors and volunteers on site set up the support hub to offer a platform for relatives to contact us, and contact us they did. This graph speaks for itself as for the need of this hub, particularly during the first wave. Many callers tried unsuccessfully to get through to the wards, which left them frustrated and anxious. Our aim was to try to answer every call, and so we drafted staffing from non-COVID areas to help. And the caller really appreciated being able to speak to a person rather than the answer phone. If, however, we were on the answer phone when a call came in, a message could be left and the first available member of staff rang them back straight away, including those who didn't leave a message as the system recorded their phone number. But we also needed to find other ways as well to enable communications between the patient and their relatives to continue. One of the other services we offered was a letter delivery service. This is where relatives emailed us and we printed and sent over 1,100 letters, birthday cards, photos and drawings from children. It's an old-fashioned way of keeping in touch, maybe, but there is nothing quite like receiving a letter. The volunteers delivered these to the wards, and the ward staff gave these to our patients as soon as they arrived. It meant that the patients were reassured that family members were thinking about them, and it took away some of the loneliness that they were feeling, and also enabled them to keep in touch with family events, which were just so important to them. We printed personal family photographs onto card, which could be displayed around the patient's bed space, creating a sort of virtual family. For end-of-life patients, this offered some level of comfort at such a sad and difficult time for everyone. As unusual as it seems, a picture of a finished garden fence was of the utmost importance to one patient. What else was important? We had a patient whose wife requested that we played classical music to him as he approached the end of his life. She couldn't be with him. The music was his second love. We had chocolates for birthdays and a cream tea for 100th birthday. Another aspect of ensuring families were staying connected was to facilitate virtual visits using iPads that were given to every ward. Our own PALS and Hub service staff were able to offer virtual appointments from visitors and patients to talk to an advisor straight away if they had any concerns or just needed to talk to someone.
Our volunteers were at the heart of adjusting to the way we worked during the peak of the pandemic. We all shared the aim of improving our patients' experience at such a difficult and challenging time. One of our consultants says, "Thank you, volunteering team, for helping us to provide the care that we aspire to deliver." Volunteers proudly supported Gloucestershire's efforts at rolling out our vaccine programme. 16 volunteers supported 12 hours a day, 7 days a week, making up information packs and telephone calls. They were flexible and highly appreciated by the team, and their presence certainly made a positive difference, something that the staff were really grateful for. The queue certainly went around the corner. Whilst with national lockdown curtailing visiting patients, our amazing army of volunteers provided a 7-day-a-week drop-off service, enabling families to bring in essential items. They delivered almost 4,500 parcels during this period, an incredible achievement and hugely popular with both grateful loved ones and patients. Whilst unable to celebrate our annual Long Service Awards ceremony, we were not defeated and arranged for an afternoon tea box to be delivered to the homes of all our volunteers celebrating their achievements. Together with a video message from the Trust, and particularly featuring Maisie, awarded for 30 years service during her 90th birthday year, we didn't miss an opportunity to say thank you. At the outset of the pandemic, Helen volunteered 5 days a week, 4 hours every day for 4 months in our Path Lab. Drawing on her IT skills from her career with GCHQ, she helped completely transform the processes within the department at such a significant time when huge demand was placed on the lab at this time. Unsurprisingly, Helen was at the forefront to help with the belongings and the vaccination hub role and made significant contribution to both. She's an absolute star and we're blessed to have her as a volunteer. Helen's currently training new volunteers on our wards to help ensure that all our patients get the best possible experience. We're blessed to have her.
We were very proud to achieve the level of support that we were able to offer at short notice at a unique time of which we had had no prior experience. Our staff and volunteers took 6,800 calls. We delivered 1,100 letters and 4,500 parcels, and all with one aim, and that was to help others during the COVID pandemic. By the end of the first wave, staff were showing a range of emotions, from physical tiredness to feeling satisfied with our ability to help others at such an important time. This was a unique situation and a unique challenge to which we rose to and which we repeated during the second wave. Thank you for listening to our very short Petch Kucha presentations, and if you'd like any further information, please do contact us. Thank you.